Hello, my dear friends. It was a fine afternoon. A little frog was sitting on a stone by a lake when he saw a double-decker bus driving past. The frog had never seen anything like it before, and asked one of the ducks swimming by, "Hey, what's that?" "That's a bus," replied the duck. "People get on it to go to different places." The frog thought for a moment. "I want to try it too. This is the lake you wanted to go to." The frog looked around. "Wow, it's even more beautiful than I remembered." The girl smiled. "I'm glad you had a nice ride, little frog." She bent down and gently placed him on a nearby rock. "Will you come and visit me again?" she asked. "Of course," replied the frog. "However, mistakes do happen. If you do find any mistakes, please let us know in the comments section below. We do plan on fixing it as soon as possible. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next video. And next time, I won't need your help. I'll find my own way." The girl laughed and ran to catch up with her mother. The duck was surprised. "But you're a frog. You can't just hop onto a bus." He rode them all over town, meeting lots of new friends along the way. One day, though, he met a grumpy old turtle who snapped his neck into a shell. He loved riding the bus so much that he even started saving his pennies to buy tickets and pay for the bus rides. He also used his savings to buy treats for the bus driver, such as donuts and candy bars. And whenever the turtle tried to snap at him, he would simply ignore him. After all, he was a frog with a ticket, and that was all that mattered. "What are you doing on this bus?" he snapped. "Can't a guy take a nap around here without some frog interrupting me?" The frog was taken aback by his bad manners. "I'm sorry," he croaked. "I didn't mean to disturb you. I just love riding the bus." "Well, you can't do it without paying," snapped the turtle. "What do you mean?" asked the frog. "You have to pay the bus driver to ride the bus." The frog thought for a moment. "Oh, I don't have any money," he said. "I'm very sorry." "Too bad," replied the turtle. "Then get off." The frog knew he couldn't argue with the turtle, so he hopped off the bus and sat on the pavement. "Why not?" asked the frog. "I see why you can't." The duck shook his head and swam away. "What's the matter, little frog?" he asked. The frog explained about the turtle and how he couldn't afford to pay for a ticket. "Don't worry," said the bus driver kindly. "Hop on the bus. You can sit with me, and I won't charge you." The frog was so happy, he hopped onto the bus and sat next to the driver. The frog was disappointed, but determined to make his dream come true. He started jumping. First, he jumped from one stone to another until he reached the road. She got up from her seat and asked, "Are you all right, little frog?" The frog replied sadly, "I wanted to go for a ride on the bus, but now I'm just wet and cold." The girl smiled. "Don't worry, I'll help you." She took out a handkerchief and dried him gently. Then she took off her jacket and wrapped him in it like a blanket. The frog felt much better. Then he looked left and right to see if any cars were coming. "It's no trouble at all," replied the girl. "Now, where would you like to go?" The frog thought for a moment. "I don't really know the places here. Maybe you could take me to the lake at the end of the rainbow at the other end of town." "Well, that's quite far," said the girl. "Are you sure?" "Yes," replied the frog. "I live by that lake, and I've always wanted to ride all the way to the other side of town." The girl smiled. "All right, then let's go." She put the frog on the seat next to her and stroked his back. The frog felt so comfortable and warm. It was the best bus ride ever. When he saw a gap in traffic, he quickly hopped onto the bus. Unfortunately, just as he did so, a car zoomed past and splashed him with water. The frog shivered and shook himself. He sat there all alone, soaked and miserable. Just then, a little girl noticed him. "Thank you," he croaked. "You're very kind." When they arrived at the other side of town, the girl got off the bus with the frog in her hands. "Here we are," she said. From that day on, the frog would often hop onto buses to go exploring. At that moment, the bus driver came out of the bus. From that day on, the frog became friends with the bus driver and rode the bus every day. The end.